Ashley Kyle.
And I'm Bob Spicer.
And this is your Lake News Update brought to you by Lake TV and LakeExpo.com. It was perfect weather this weekend for the Apple Butter Festival in Lynn Creek, and Bob was there.
The sound of a hammered dulcimer, apples stirring in a copper-clad kettle, lye soap being cooked over an open-air fire, the sights and sounds of the Apple Butter Festival in Lynn Creek, Missouri. The Union Home Guard was on duty. So were the Civil War volunteer ladies who looked after them. The Apple Butter Festival is a celebration of history. And what better place to hold this welcome to fall in the Ozarks than the Camden County Museum. Outside, there were Native American artifacts, wrought iron blacksmith art, pony rides, lye soap making demonstrations, and period costumes. Inside the community room, local artisans displayed their handcrafted treasures and trinkets. And local bakers sold homemade apple pies for charity. The Apple Butter Festival in Lynn Creek, Missouri, a celebration of the fall season in the Ozarks.
Boaters hit the lake for Fall Harbor Hop last weekend. The spring and fall harbor hops marked the beginning and end of the main boating season on the lake. There was rain in the forecast, but it cleared out by mid-morning, and boaters hopped from one lakefront bar to the next in a giant game of poker. The best and worst hands will receive a check in the mail, and some of the money raised by the event will help the Convention and Visitors Bureau continue promoting the best spot to live and vacation in the Midwest.
The vice president of Paul's Supermarket went to Washington last week to testify before a congressional subcommittee about Obamacare. The health care law designates full-time as 30 hours per week. Stephen Herman said that could force small businesses like Paul's to make tough decisions about employee hours and benefits. The grocery chain opened as one store back in 1968. Now Paul's employs around 200 people at 3 stores around the lake. In his conclusion, Herman encouraged Congress to remove any barriers or artificial thresholds that he said are hurting small business job creation.
The Missouri Department of Conservation has confirmed a mountain lion passed through Shannon County last month. The tail end of the cat was caught on a trail camera on September 29th. The MDC says the mountain lion was likely from a state west of Missouri and was just passing through in search of a mate. The department reported there is no evidence of a breeding population of mountain lions in the state of Missouri.
In another report, the Conservation Department says the forecast is looking good for duck hunters this year. Last year's estimated number of breeding ducks set a new record for Missouri, and this year doesn't look much different. Weather is always the wild card in duck hunting, and the department says the best scenario would be a series of cold fronts throughout the fall that push new waves of ducks from the north through Missouri as they head south for the winter.
A sad ending when a school bus crashed last week in Miller County. The Highway Patrol reported the Miller County R3 School District bus was headed east on Opal Road when the driver, Phyllis Rush, had a medical emergency. The bus crashed into a tree on the side of the road. The Highway Patrol reported none of the 6 children on board were injured, but the driver was pronounced dead on the scene as a result of a medical event. Phyllis greatly impacted my life, and I know she will be greatly missed by her family and friends.
Hurricane Deck Elementary was evacuated last week when a downed power line hit a car in the school's parking lot and knocked out power to much of the Sunrise Beach School and the business district. A semi-truck at the intersection of Highway 5 and Lake Road 533 hit the line, knocking it into the parking lot. When school officials smelled smoke, they evacuated the building. Thankfully, no injuries reported, and crews had fixed the power line by early afternoon.
Fire destroyed a maintenance building containing a fleet of golf carts at Tantera Estates last week. Firefighters responded to the call about 1:30 in the morning on Monday, October 7th. When they arrived, they found heavy fire and smoke pouring from the 4,000 square foot building. They managed to put out the fire, but the building was seriously damaged, including up to 20 golf carts inside.
Citizens Against Domestic Violence raised a record amount of money at the charity's annual brunch October 2nd. Just under $17,000 was donated by around 400 people who attended the event, which is held or was held at the Lodge of the Four Seasons. Money raised will help CADV with its ongoing mission to provide services to men, women, and children impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault. But the organization has another need: volunteers. If you're interested in helping or you just want to find out more about it, you can call CADV at 573-346-9630. Now let's take a look at upcoming events throughout this weekend.
On Thursday, the 6th Annual Real Estate Symposium is coming to Osage National Golf Resort. State Representative Diane Franklin will give a legislative update at the event, and RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks executives will discuss trends and predictions for real estate market on the local and national levels. The symposium is scheduled for 3 to 5 p.m. and will be followed by a reception with a cash bar.
Also Thursday, Bridal Cave celebrates its 65th anniversary party at H. Toad's. Come out to H. Toad's and Camden on the Lake for food, drinks, and live music. That starts at 8:30. It's by the Eagles tribute band known as Seven Bridges Road.
Investigate a murder mystery this weekend at the Lodge of Four Seasons. The excitement begins Friday evening and lasts until breakfast on Sunday. Visit murdermystery.com for more details.
And the Buddy Bass State Championship hits the Lake of the Ozarks this weekend. The entry fee is $125 per two-man team. Takeoff is at Captain Ron's Bar and Grill at 7 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Weigh-in is at 4 o'clock on Saturday and 2 o'clock on Sunday. 80% of entry fees will be paid back as cash prizes. This year's tournament will also include a kids fishing derby on Saturday from noon to 2.
And Saturday night, Captain Ron's invites you to come get funky. Break out those bell-bottoms, polyester, and platform shoes at the 7th Annual Disco Night. The dancing begins at 8 o'clock p.m.
And if swing dancing is more your style, then make it over to the Country Club Hotel for the Monster Mash Swing Dance. Dancing lessons begin at 7 p.m. Everything gets into full swing at 8 o'clock.
Here's another throwback for you. Also on Saturday night, Papa Chubby's presents the Bonnie and Clyde Gangsta Costume Party. The robbing and stealing kicks off at 7 o'clock p.m.
And on Sunday, the Funny Farm holds its annual Oktoberfest. Bring the kids for rides on Clydesdale horses. There'll be music, food, bobbing for apples, an old-fashioned hayride, and a bonfire. The Funny Farm's located on Lake Trail Road in Laurie.
I'm Ashley Kyle.
And I'm Bob Spicer.
And this has been your Lake News Update brought to you by Lake TV and LakeExpo.com.